So you know how manipulative and abusive people will use your past against you? Yeah, that only works if you don't heal your past wounds. I've learned that a lot of manipulative and abusive people expect this to work because they don't heal their past wounds. So their wounds from like years ago are fresh, okay? Whereas for me, I've come across individuals that they witness me have something happen that really hurts me, is super hurtful, painful, break my little heart. And then they try to use it against me like a couple months later, and I don't respond in a triggered manner. And they just kind of stare at me like, what? And they look so bewildered. And I realize, and they get frustrated and like they try so many tactics, and I'd be able to like watch them spiral and like, they started trying to trigger, and then they tried triggering in a different way. And it's like they would go through like this whole lineup of manipulation tactics. And I realized that the reason that manipulative people do that with me is because they're used to people not healing their wounds. They're used to using this tactic on individuals, themselves included. They're used to individuals that don't heal their wounds. So when they bring up something that's a year old, 5 years old, 20 years old, a wound, that shit's still fresh. It still hurts. So if you want to outsmart abusive people who use your past against you, the key is not to never tell people your past. That's not a healthy way to resolve that. That's actually really unhealthy and toxic. Don't do that. Withholding vulnerability from future connections because what if they use it against me is not a healthy response. It's a trauma response. But healing your wounds, processing your trauma, growing and healing, absolutely, that's a super healthy way to handle that. Because if you do, like, for example, EMDR therapy, you are reprocessing and desensitizing yourself to the trauma. So if somebody decides to use your past against you, it doesn't trigger you. You're just like, ooh. You're able to see that they did that, and you're like, ooh, that's shitty. Like, it doesn't trigger me as much as it would in the past, but ew, bye. And I just find that that works so much better than any other approach, to be honest.